guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to another film review. Tonight we're looking at, I believe, a 1960s American creature feature. Very similar to the Godzilla franchise. We have Gorgo, which has just been released here in the UK on Screenbound on 4K for like the first time in a collector's edition. So before we go any further, let's have a look at the edition itself. So this is the physical edition of Gorgo on 4K, released by Screenbound. It's a collector's edition, collector's number. It's a limited edition set. So we'll take off the cellophane. This will be a first watch for me when I get to view it tonight. So you'll be getting my honest opinions. Sorry guys, see my shadows? Because I'm doing it at night. Right, so let's take it out. It's in a nice sort of slipcase box, which is quite nice. It comes with a poster. Which looks like that. And on the other side, Gorgo El Monstruo. That's cool. It comes with a Gorgo Monster from the Sea comic book. Wow, this is like real old school kind of paper being reproduced to make it look like a very vintage old comic book, which is really nice. Some nice artwork there. Very cool. It smells beautiful. I like the picture on the back there. Really nice. Then we've got the film itself on 4K. Nothing in here, I don't think. Oh yes, there is. There's a few art cards. We've got Gorgo in London there. Gorgo looking like Godzilla there. So that's pretty cool. 10% off voucher there. If you buy stuff from Screenbound itself. So we'll pop all these back away. No booklet, which I was a bit surprised about, but you do have the little comic book, and that is the collector's edition, the limited edition of Gorgo. It's a very pretty, very nice edition. Just lacks a couple of things. I would like to have seen a booklet in there, so add in another couple of inches with a nice book in there telling us about the story of Gorgo and its origins would have been really cool. But maybe there's something on that in the special features, so let's have a look to see if there's any special features. So this is the main menu for Gorgo. Extra features, we have production notes, Gorgo French comic, MGM press book gallery, Ninth Wonder of the World, the making of Gorgo, restoration before and after, lobby card and poster gallery, toys and collectible gallery, Gorgo Lives, Stephen R. Bissett on the legacy of Gorgo, Gorgo the Monster of the Sea comic, Gorgo original theatrical trailer. And that is the special features on Gorgo. So there is some special features on the film, which is okay, but nothing particularly grabbing, like a long documentary about the history of the film. This is a British creature feature, not American, as I said earlier. Excuse me. This is actually a British film, which is wonderful. It's very rarely we see like something like this coming out of Britain. So let's get to the story. So, as you can probably see, this is a 1961 British film, and it's kind of based on sort of Godzilla sort of story like, but it is very similar in a lot of ways. We are at sea, first of all, with Joe and Sam, played by Bill Travers and William Sylvester. And they're diving in the sea because they're getting this weird sort of like radiation results from the sea. And they got a guy down there diving and sort of diving down to see what's going on. He's looking around some old shipwrecks and all this, but they can't work out what's happening because all the sea's sort of bubbling like that, and they don't know what it is that's going on. And then out of nowhere, this volcano comes out of the sea and erupts, and it sort of subsides their ship and makes their ship go back and forth and stuff like this. But the ship manages to survive this occasion, and they head back to a bay in sort of like in Ireland. This is based around the outskirts of Ireland to start with. And they go ashore to try and get some equipment and some things like this. And lo and behold, we get the first appearance of Gorgo, who comes ashore and sort of like kills a few people by accident and then goes back to the sea. And they're trying to kill it. They're trying to shoot it, throw spears at it, throw all these sort of things. Then they sort of throw fire at it, which seems to scare it, and it goes back to the sea. And so our likely lads, Joe and Sam, decide they want to go and catch it. There's a young boy on the island called Sean, played by Vincent Winter, and he wants to sort of protect Goro, a bit like Gamera, same sort of similar style to that. And eventually they go out to sea, and they actually capture this monster. And first of all we meet Professor Hendricks, who's Joseph O'Connor, who plays like a guy from the sort of like Ireland sort of like museum, and he wants it to go there so they can sort of like test it and examine it and all this sort of thing. But the money overtakes Joe and Sam's greed, and they decide to sell it to a circus in London. So they ship this creature off to London to put it in the sideshow in a circus. And that's all I'm going to tell you. So what's going to happen here? Is this Goro, or is this something else? You need to watch it and find out, because I don't want to spoil any more of the plot. But it is definitely worth sort of digging out. There's a lot of great action in this film. Let's get to the characters. So we'll start with Joe and Sam, the two crew. The ship, they're cool. I've seen these guys and everything. Bill Travers, I'm sure he's been in War of the Worlds. I can't remember. These have been in quite a few sort of British sci-fi films and sci-fi horror films. This is a British sci-fi horror film. The young lad by Sean Winters is cool. He's very cute, sort of looking lad, and says these sort of lines. But we've got some great cast going on, and we've got some military, we've got some doctors, and we've got scientists. We've got the guy that runs the circus. So there is some character building on there. Not a lot, because it's all based around this sort of storyline of this creature. So my final verdict. This is an essential watch. It's a 10 out of 10. It's phenomenal. It is up there with the early Godzillas. It's that good. And the first sort of Gameras, and the American one, which is the beast from 5,000 Fathoms, something like that. But this one is up there with the Godzilla one. It's really, really cool. It's a great story. Fantastic addition. and the picture quality is pretty cool. But it's just the story is just absolutely mind-blowing, in the sense like it's been done before, the story, but this is executed so well, with really well filmed, with great cast and some quite good effects in it for its day. You know, you can see it's a rubber creature in a lot of things, and a lot of times you can see it's a man in a suit. But it's so cool and so sort of like vintage and retro and essential. It's essential. It's brilliant. The pluses of this edition, it's a great edition. Like I said, you got the comic, you got the poster, some art cards, the film in 4K. Couple of things it could have done with would have been a nice booklet in there, and maybe the Blu-ray edition as well. Considering it's not particularly that cheap, it's about £30 to £35. But it is a collector's edition. It's a rare copy when it's numbered, so it could be, you know, valuable at some point for anyone that wants this cheesy monster flick. But it's really cool. Highly recommend it. Gorgo, 10 out of 10. Any of you guys seen it? If you have, let me know down below. If not, you have to check it out, especially if you're a fan of Godzilla films or the Gamera films or any of the sort of Japanese kind of monster films, or some of the early American sci-fi feature films. This one is a British one, and it's incredible. Check it out. And check out some horror channels. Check out Horror Hands, Horror Geek, Man v Film, RS Design, Pizzawell, I'm Ice Little Cat Watches Horror Movies, Grumpy Andrews, Horror House, and The Maniac. And a massive shout out to my lad. Till next time, look after yourselves, look after one another, and I really hope I'll see you all soon.